It all began when I moved here in August. So many amazing things were happening for me, but with that, like, I didn't have a lot of friends yet. So I found a lot of happiness and solitude going to thrift stores. I had always had these ideas, shopping at thrift stores with my friends back in Michigan, in AmeriCorps. Oh, this piece is really cool. I could make all these really cool changes to them, but I had never really implemented that mentality yet. You know how in class, in third grade, you write, oh, what do you want to be when you're older? You shoot big. You do astronaut, fireman, doctor, and I always wrote fashion designer. And it was when I moved here, I read the book The Alchemist, and they talk about a personal legend, and it tends to happen when you're younger. This is kind of my interpretation of it. And my personal legend, I think, always has been fashion designer. And finally, it was an aha moment, this is what I need to be doing. Ever since I was little, this was something I've always loved, but I think it got lost. And then it's just crazy, all these years later, I found it again, and I found it in these thrift stores and in these lost clothing. These are a pair of thrifted Guess jeans. Everything I take is recycled, upcycled. I'm not buying any new fabrics because I'm in the middle of hand sewing them on. But this velvet detail on the side of the legs was actually a shirt I found. And so what I did is I bleached it, and then I detailed the pocket with some rhinestones and pearls. And I detailed the back of them. They're a pair of high-waisted jeans with a crochet shirt to make it even a little more funkier. I added some baby fringe. This was a scarf. This crochet you see on the sleeves is from that same crochet that was on those previous pair of pants. This was from a shirt. A t-shirt decal that I got. Still reusing the fabric on that t-shirt. When I started collecting these really unique pieces, innocent, I wonder what girl was strutting around in these pants, leather pants with ties. I'm like, she's gotta be a rad chick. And then it's transformed it into, well, what am I really doing with these clothes? I kind of discovered this is a little more important than I once thought. It was a little more than just making a funky jacket to wear out on a night. And I kind of realized what I was doing. I was upcycling clothing. And I've done massive amount of research and, kind of discovered this community online and in our culture about, sustainable fashion and how it's becoming a fashion revolution. And then I've really started to be okay, let's forget about, Lucy in the leather pants and her story, even though that I know it's a dope story. Let's think about the hands that created these pants. Let's look at the labels. Let's look at the brands. Let's see where these clothes are coming from. And that's kind of where you open my eyes a little more, these clothes, this isn't actually a good place where these are coming from, And I've discovered, the term fast fashion, essentially, which is what all fashion is today. It's big companies like H&M, Zara, cranking out these pieces of clothing upwards of every 2 weeks, but the way they're made is unethical. They're trapping people in these developing nations in poverty with the factories they're working at. It just kind of was the tip of the iceberg that I'm discovering. Every time I would walk into a thrift store, I always kind of, in my mind, was this is the land of lost clothing. And it became, I think, a little joke in my mind. All of these pieces are lost, and then I was bringing them to a new home and a new life. But it got a little deeper when I realized I was kind of in the land of the lost with who I was, and I had found that I've had a lot in common with these lost pieces of clothing. They just needed to, figure their way out and kind of be revamped. And I think that's kind of what it's been happening to me since living here in Denver. And I just realized I had a lot more in common with these lost pieces of clothing than I previously thought.